We should learn the lessons from the oppressed citizens everywhere, from Canada to the communist Chinese, before it's too late.
Another day, another scandal, another embarrassing photo op, or today we've got the United States scolding Justin Trudeau, and while embarrassing to Canada, this falls squarely on Justin Trudeau's shoulders. We've got this from two different sources coming from America. On top of that, we've got multiple other stories, including some families moving back to Ukraine. There you go, Ukrainian family who came to Canada is now considering going back to their war-torn country of Ukraine because Canada is too expensive to live in. This is outrageous. This is of the same level of outrage as that family moving to Russia to start a farm because they didn't like how woke Canada is.
One family from Ukraine living in Montreal's South Shore is facing financial difficulties as they say the current situation in Canada is making it almost difficult for them to make ends meet. And if the situation continues, they say they will have no choice but to leave Canada altogether.
Family of 10, I mean, that's got to be hard. The food prices today, go to Dollarama, that's all I can say. Let's look at the comments here. There's a gal with 2 kids in my town going back shortly. Tickets are bought. Back to Ukraine, wow. We had a family from Ukraine that opened a restaurant in town. They had the best pierogies. In Canada for less than 3 years, also moved back to their homeland. Too expensive in Canada, they said. Palestine protester films himself blocking traffic, swearing at police. Like, how far is this gonna go? It must be absolute hell to live in Toronto and listen to that nonsense all the time. I understand protesting, but there's got to be a limit to it. Like, how do people work from home?
Yeah, real nice police, real nice chief, real nice, real nice.
You move the protest, you don't block the road. You understand? I will. You'll get arrested for obstructing police.
You'll keep your distance from us.
No, you don't block the road. You don't block the road. Don't point your finger at me like that.
You do not engage in women and children.
I'm not engaging women and children. I'm telling you. Get off the road. Get off the road.
Remember that. Remember that. Control your pain.
It's time for deportation. Just send this one back. This is not the kind of hatred we want in our country. It's time to go, buddy. What kind of person swears that much at a cop? Obviously, someone who's not from Canada, who doesn't respect our laws or our people or everything they've been given by coming to this country. Get out. Go home. Arrest them already. Hold them as long as the convoy of protesters. Yeah. This is wrong in that protester's breaking the law. He should have been arrested, and he is not. Someone surely is telling the authorities to not have them arrested. This is why that protester is in control. Take off your mask if you're so proud, yeah. Next up, we got a clip here. It's heartbreaking and just more Canadians suffering.
No, it sucks. Working full time and not being able to afford groceries. I can't afford groceries. I can't even afford gas to get to work. I don't know what to do anymore. I don't want to live like this anymore.
Yeah, I feel that. Justin Trudeau, that's what we've got in our country. And we don't have laws or rules or any way to get rid of that cancer. So next up, we have the Americans scolding Justin Trudeau. We've got this article posted on Tucker Carlson Network. U.S. representatives blast Trudeau for freezing Freedom Convoy bank accounts. There's a clip I'll play afterwards, but just to highlight a few things, Republican French Hill underscored the potential of government overreach inherent in financial surveillance. Republican Scott Perry echoed these sentiments and warned against complacency regarding government powers. You've also got Republican Bob Good labeled the Trudeau administration as oppressive, drawing comparisons to authoritarian regimes. They're all talking about this clip, which came from U.S. Congress yesterday. It says PM Justin Trudeau was called out in U.S. Congress yesterday for oppressing Canadian citizens by freezing bank accounts of truckers during the 2022 Freedom Convoy. Trudeau's authoritarian overreach will forever be a mark of shame on Canada.
And this is not hyperbole. We've already seen examples of governments developing these types of tools and use them to weaponize their financial systems against their citizens. In China, the Communist Party employs a CBDC that can be used to monitor citizens' spending habits. Closer to home in the Western Hemisphere, the Canadian government demonstrated the power of federal financial surveillance and control when it froze the bank accounts of hundreds of truckers protesting the COVID vaccine mandate in 2022. It is naive to believe that your government won't weaponize the tools it has to control you.
We live in a world where government can abuse the tools that they have. As noted by the whip, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau could freezing bank accounts of people protesting COVID-19 in his country.
We should learn the lessons from the oppressed citizens everywhere, from Canada to the communist Chinese, before it's too late.
Unbelievable. Trudeau's getting scolded in U.S. Congress. This is just so embarrassing for the country. Trudeau, the whole thing. This is our largest trading partner in the world. I'm glad they're calling it out. I'm glad they're bringing light to it. I'm sure many Americans don't have any idea what's going on up here. Let's look at the comments here. Freezing bank accounts of truckers. Trudeau did more than that. He froze the bank accounts of those who donated to the cause. Justin Trudeau is well known around the world. At least someone is sticking up for us. Thanks, USA. Next up, we got this clip here with Vasi Kapellos, who talks to the United States NATO ambassador, who also scolds Canada.
By and large, the position of the United States is pretty clear. And by the United States, I mean the Biden administration. We certainly salute all of the efforts that Canada has undertaken here across the alliance, particularly in its support to Ukraine. But I will say on the Wales Investment Pledge, which was the moment when allies came together 10 years ago to commit to spend 2% of their GDP on defense by 2024, we were hoping that if allies couldn't meet that target, they would have a plan in place to get to 2% within the next few years. We were pleased to see that Canada is making a pledge to get to 1.7 by the end of the decade. But what we need is for the Canadian government to issue some sort of plan to get to 2% in the years ahead.
Good luck getting a plan from Justin Trudeau. All he cares about is himself and all his little dirty scandals and slush funds and all the garbage he's got going on. He doesn't care about meeting targets with America.
Every member of this alliance is either already at 2%, about 2/3 of the alliance are going to hit that target by the summit in July, or they have a plan to get to 2% in 3 to 5 years.
Has it ever been conveyed to you behind the scenes that Canada does not plan to ever do that, or have there been specifics attached, perhaps behind the scenes, in conveying to you of the fact that it might happen?
Certainly, the Canadian delegation here and the Canadian government has indicated that they take the pledge very seriously. They signed on to it. I think they had, when they signed on to it, every intention, obviously, of eventually meeting the commitment.
That's just liar Trudeau making promises he's not going to keep.
The question, though, again, across the alliance is, when will we see an actual plan to reach that 2% target and have clarity on how Canada is going to get there? I have not had any instance where any Canadian official has told me they will not get there, but I don't have any sign that there is a plan in place to get to that 2% mark.
I wanted to ask you a question that may be obvious to you, but not to all our viewers. And that is, look, Canada has plotted this chart now, of definitely an increase in defense spending, historically speaking, in this country at 1.7. Why does the extra 0.3 matter so much to NATO?
Every ally now has clarity on what they need to have in hand and what level of readiness their forces need to have to ensure that we can defend NATO territory against Russian aggression, against any kind of aggression, and even some hybrid threats that exist out there, things like cyber attacks, for example. So in order to realize those regional plans and execute them as they are designed, we have calculated that we need every member of the alliance to do its fair share, because those investments pay dividends for the alliance in enhancing our deterrence and defense. And
And Canadians need Justin Trudeau to stop destroying our lives. I don't think you're going to be getting your 2% until Pierre Poilievre gets into power.
We want to ensure, though, that that multinational battalion that Canada has committed to leading is scalable to a brigade. And in order to ensure that that battalion is scalable to a brigade, every country that's contributing to that battalion does need to invest in its armed forces to make sure that they have the necessary capabilities and that those forces are maintained at the right level of readiness.
The only way our armed forces gets bulked up with more people is if the foreign workers and foreign students that have been applying to the armed forces as a way to get citizenship is an actual path that works, because then more and more people will sign up for that. As it is, Canadians are dropping out. You've got Canadians ending their existence because of how bad it is in the armed forces. Once again, Trudeau running anything he touches into the ground. Those foreign workers and foreign students, maybe they are the key to this situation. But really, this is not going to get fixed until Poilievre gets in. Next up, we got this article here, which I thought was really interesting. CBC is launching 14 free ad-supported streaming channels dedicated to local news across Canada in an effort to attract younger audiences who don't have the traditional habits of linear news consumers. They're trying to reach a younger audience here. This is just... they don't know what they're doing. On Thursday, the public broadcaster debuted CBC BC and CBC News Toronto on platforms including CBC Gem and CBC News app, with traditional platforms expected to join in the coming weeks. Within a year, CBC said 12 more so-called fast channels will serve audiences in the north and every province, including dedicated channels to Calgary, Edmonton, Windsor, Ontario, and Ottawa. It says here desire is to attract younger audiences who don't have traditional cable packages. Yeah, this is not going to work. We're seeing newspapers fold or pull back. Newspapers, really? Are we talking about newspapers? Come on. What is the percentage of people that are younger than 40 years old reading a newspaper? Heck, even younger than 50 years old. It's probably like nearly zero. And if they are reading a newspaper, it's a digital one. It's an app. It's something on their phone. CBC has no idea what they're doing. I'm sure they're getting the push from Justin Trudeau that they need to reach the younger audience because they're tanking in the polls. This is their new plan now. Trudeau wasting more of our money on this stupid crap. This isn't going to work. I had a couple of photos sent to me today, including this one of Justin Trudeau falling out of a kayak. So you can see here, thank you for sending this to me. It says Trudeau's true desire to compete in the Olympics on the women's synchronized swimming team under the nickname Twinkle Toes. Much better suited for that than running and ruining our country. There we go. There's that idiot falling out of a kayak. Where is this? That's the question I want to know. There is one more photo too. We've got this one. So it says, read the groom's face. Comment what you think he's thinking of Icky JT. Like, what is going on here, Justin? Is this Sophie? What is this? Who is this? It's hard to know who JT's hanging out with. Maybe it's the Minister of Marital Affairs? I don't know. But yeah, look at this guy's face. He's just like mortified. They just got married. She's wearing a wedding dress. Like, come on, Justin. This dirtbag. Next up, we got this Dundas Square signage expected to be fully replaced by Sankofa Square by the end of the year. Costs estimated to be around $200,000. This is the exact same thing I just reported last night in Edmonton. Maybe there's a time and a place to rename some of these things. Now is not that time. When there's people sleeping in the streets in tents, that needs to be dealt with, not renaming Dundas Square. Isn't Toronto broke? What's the total debt of Toronto? Yeah. Well, thank you, Olivia Chow. I feel so much better now. Dundas Square was at the top of my list of things that need to be fixed in this country. Guy in Brampton has his car stolen right from his driveway. He told the police where the tracker shows the car is, but they can't do anything about it. Insane. 1, scan the C-cans. 2, spot the stolen car. 3, give it back to the owner, who will bring it home.
Hello, Matt-ji. My friend Satnam Sarai's truck, Ram truck, was stolen last night.
So they're stealing this one.
3:30 a.m. They came 2 times. Then they pushed his truck, other truck in the back. Then they took his Ram truck. It's very expensive. Then police came after 4 hours, and Peel police said, okay, we're going to try to find it. Now the truck is in the CP rail yard in Vaughan. Then he called York police. They said they cannot do anything. Peel police said the truck is not in the Peel. They cannot do anything. He told the police his truck is in the container, ready to go to Montreal, and they're not doing anything. That's the situation is now. Look at this. Do something. Thank you.
Every time one of these gets stolen, all of our insurance goes up. That's how that works. We need to almost go back to having neighborhood watch. That was something that was going on when I was a kid. This filth in our country, these are people that shouldn't have been born. They are disgraces to humanity, and they are disgraces to our country. I had both my cars stolen from my driveway in a span of 3 weeks. There's the guy stealing the cars. Oh, and a couple women too. My car lease is up in July. I'm looking at getting an old used car to prevent dealing with the theft. I can't imagine I'm the only person. If I owned a car dealership, I'd be livid with this government. Yeah, that's an interesting point. In this town I live in, there's a lot of people here who keep the outside of their house looking kind of raggedy, and they have really nice renovations inside. They want their house to be avoided from any theft. Next up, we've got the Toronto Mayor and City Councillors raise the progress flag at Mel Lastman Square for an early Pride Month kickoff. This video is embarrassing. It's bad.
The police gonna hide your face.
Okay, let's do a countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Pull that pole.
Pull that pole.
That's hard.
I didn't break a nail.
Just wait for it. If that wasn't cringe enough.
Okay, pretend we're having fun.
If you didn't hear that, they said pretend we're having fun.
Okay, pretend we're having fun. It's always sunny in North York.
Okay, this is too cringe. Ugh. Pretend you're having fun. Oh, God. Staying on the pride flag theme, we've got this video. The lengths some people will go to just avoiding LGBTQ2I2+, whatever, is unbelievable. I can't, that music's copyright. I know for sure it is. Obviously this is a joke, but with the heroic music, come on. Yeah, I don't have a problem if they want to paint this stuff on stairs like this. They need to keep it off the roads. Distracting drivers with foreign things on the roads makes no sense. In the town I live in, they have one of these pride flags in one of the crosswalks, and every time I go to make a left turn, it kind of jolts me because I'm just not used to that. I'm double scanning, make sure, is there any people in that crosswalk? Because it doesn't look normal. It's not normal. So keep the flags off the roads.
Mounted police force. Oh, I don't like the colour. Don't like the colour. Oh, brilliant, brilliant.
They won't touch it. All jokes aside, get this off the streets. This is not helping any drivers out there. If this causes an accident, then what? People are going to sue because they put the pride flag on the road? Like, put it somewhere. Put it on the side of the building or something. These are really dumb, stupid decisions that aren't thought out. Next up, we got this post from Shazzy Goli. Young investors condo in Midtown Toronto bleeds $700 per month, 80 to 90K lost equity on $140,000 down payment. Says a 27-year-old male lives at home with a condo that's rented out in Midtown Toronto, cash flow negative, as said, $700 per month, but can easily cover it as he's living from home. I do want to move out into the condo in 4 to 5 years as it's a good layout. 1 bed, 1 bath with parking and locker. I mean, this person bought at the worst time. They got suckered in by the Trudeau's advice, low interest rates. I don't know what I'd do in that situation, but I wouldn't have bought it when the market was absolutely exploding. That's just you wait for the crash to buy. That's what you always do. Hold your money and wait for something to happen where there's a dip. Because then at least, even if the market just completely flips and you won't be down 80 or 90K, maybe you'd be down like 30K if you bought in a mini dip among the price going up. When it comes down to it, too many people think Canadian real estate is this magical investment that always grows, but it's not promised to always grow. What historically always grows is the S&P 500. But even that, maybe with the BRICS situation coming in, China and Russia, etc., switching to a gold-backed currency, maybe the S&P 500 doesn't keep going up. Maybe it flattens out. Maybe it goes down. So nobody's got a crystal ball, but this is a bad situation. Next up, we've got this one here. Victoria, Canada, please F off with this crap. It's 2024. Yeah, horse-drawn carriages, very popular in Victoria. I mean, at what point do we not have horses on the road? What horse wants to be walking around on a pavement? This is not the kind of terrain they're meant to be walking around on. This is ridiculous. Just stop with this. It's bad for traffic. This is just a tourist thing. If they want to do this, they should have some like backwoods trail that they take people on, not the main streets of Victoria. Like, this is kind of a bonehead decision that affects traffic and everyday people's lives. What's wrong with horses having a job? Next up, we got this clip here from Don Cherry from 1990 on immigration and foreign aid.
And the people that drink the beer, pardon me, the people that drink the beer agree with me.
What do you hear from them?
Honest to God.
What are they thinking about these days?
What are they thinking about? They're ticked off. They're ticked off, and I try to tell you this, they're ticked off at the foreigners coming over here earning the dough. This is what I hear from.
Are you a safety valve for people who are stewing about all kinds of stuff, or are you dangerous?
I don't know whether I'm dangerous. I just say what I think, and it's the way I think. You could say it's bigotry if you want. I don't think it is. I'm pro-Canadian, more so than I'm anti-Soviet or anti-Swede. I wish more Canadians were like me.
That really plays in the country these days, but where is it going to end? Where is it going to end if we get into that kind of politics?
We let people come in and take our fish, and the people are starving down there. The people come in and wreck everything on us. They come in, and it wouldn't happen if I was in Parliament.
There's not a party in Canada would take you today.
I've been asked
what
by
you're talking about and what you believe.
I've been asked by two.
Which ones?
Liberal and Conservative.
And they want Don Cherry in there talking about complaining about the immigrants.
They want people that people like on TV. How could you not like me on TV if you're a Canadian? Good old boy like me.
From the back benches, he'll clean up metric and more.
I'll tell you, I'll straighten those guys out. I want to be in the back hollering and yelling. I'll be great. I'll be as great in politics. Imagine me going down to Newfoundland. Going down there.
What would happen?
I'd go down there and I'll say, look, vote me in, and I guarantee you, as I stand here, no foreign trawler would come in and touch one fish. Foreign aid, if you want to get into that, here we got people dying. Here we got people dying for want of beds, and we're giving money to the foreigners. No way. It'd be Canada first, and Canada only. That's what I am, a nationalist. I'm going to start a new power, the nationalist.
And isolating ourselves in trade and isolating ourselves from the rest of the world will do just as much good as going out and punching somebody in the nose before the end of the third period.
75% of our trade is with good old USA, and they like us strong. They want us strong, not to be wimps.
Wow. Well said, Don Cherry. Just imagine if he was in the House of Commons, and that would be wild. Let's see what the people had to say. He truly missed his calling as a politician. He didn't know it at the time, but he probably could have been prime minister if he pursued hard enough on it. He stayed back in broadcasting. The landscape/world changed around him without him realizing. And the same views he held for 30 years are no longer acceptable. But foreign hockey players, come on over. Cherry always was a hypocrite and bigot. So there's a little bit of support and pushback on Don Cherry here. 35 years ahead of his time, and damn it, he hit the nail on the head. Cherry is a Canadian national treasure. Turns out he was right. Guys ahead of his time, like most men his age and older. They knew. That's like many of you who watch this. I look at my metrics. A larger portion of the audience is older. You guys know, you've been through it. You've seen the ups and downs. You've seen things come and go. You just know what's going on. Canada first. Attitude is correct. You start bending on that ideal and it falls apart. Let's jump over to my group now and see what sort of memes we've got today. Every time I see Justin Trudeau, yeah, that one turd that just won't flush. That's so creepy. It's not inflation when corporations are raking in record profits. How trans athletes think they look, how they actually look. Oh my God. That's Justin Trudeau back in whatever. What is that, grade 6 or something? Oh my God, who dug this up? Justin Trudeau with our money. Okay, that definitely can't have that music playing. Look at this little thief. Did you fart? I can smell your last Somebody's putting stamps on the $20 bills. The penetration is complete. Penetrate the cabinet. The penetrate. 1994 to 2024. Yeah, look at this. Liberals are a lot like slinkies. Not much good for anything, but they bring a smile to your face after you push them down a flight. My dream when I retire with my savings, living on a small island somewhere. This is sad. A tent and a median. Ugh. How do you spend taxpayers' money? Oh, that's easy. Yeah. What a waste of money. Like, come on, guys. They can't balance the budget, but they can all become millionaires. There we go. If you keep them busy enough with basic needs, they will forget about the freedom they lost. That's what's happening in Canada. That's going to wrap up this episode. Let me know in the comments down below how you guys feel about Justin Trudeau humiliating Canada on the world stage, to our largest trading partner, our neighbor to the south, America, calling us out on 2 different situations, 2 different times. We've got 3 different Republicans and the NATO ambassador, like in the same 24 hours. Like, come on. Another day, another embarrassing moment from Justin Trudeau. So thanks for watching the end of the video here. Be sure to subscribe and hit the thumbs up and turn on the bell notification if you want to be notified of all my videos. We'll keep fighting for freedom. I'll keep bringing you guys the truth. I'll see you guys in the next one.